What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another video. Today we're checking out SCP-1000 Bigfoot from the Exploring series. So this is another one of the SCPs when looking through, like, I searched SCP and I looked through like some of the playlists. It's one that caught my eye. Bigfoot, you know? Same like the Plague Doctor that caught my eye. This one is pretty interesting, man. Has anyone requested this? I have no idea. We did see it in the Pines confinement special, so yeah. Bigfoot obviously being one of those creatures that people think exist in real life. There's no proof, and I'm pretty sure if there was a giant monkey-esque creature roaming around forests, we would have found it by now. You know, it's not the Loch Ness Monster, you know. If it was underwater, maybe it would be harder to find because we don't explore the oceans as much. But in a forest, I'm sure we would have run into it, especially something so big. In the past, I think they've proved that in the past there was giant primates, like, that would resemble Bigfoot. But obviously, probably none roaming the world right now. Probably just people's eyes playing tricks on them, man. Like, you walk down somewhere where it's dark, you see something at the corner of your eye, and you think it's a fucking monster when really and truly it's just a plant. And you never get a good look at it because you start running away. I mean, there you go. But yeah, we're going to check out SCP-1000 Bigfoot. I'm intrigued to see the SCP's take on it. So yeah, this should be interesting. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already.
SCP-1000 Bigfoot. The grand majority of SCPs contained by the Foundation are utterly unique concepts created by a group of highly creative writers. But every once in a while, one comes along based on an existing myth or story. A number of these fail to gain popularity, but some, such as SCP-1000, provide an interesting enough twist on the story to stick around.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised when I saw Bigfoot, because most of the other creatures are pretty unique to SCP universe. Like, some we've checked out. I mean, Plague Doctor. I mean, that would make a great horror film if anyone wants to make, like, a murderous Plague Doctor. I think I might have said it in that video. But, like, the Song of Genesis, you know, Ferdinand, what's his name? Like, Volgun said Fernand, but everyone in the in confinement says Ferdinand. So I don't know what his name is at this point. Yeah, Bigfoot's more of one of those generic things like Frankenstein or Dracula, or actually they're kind of different. Bigfoot's kind of like Loch Ness Monster, you know, or some crazy shit like that, which no one can prove exists. Anyway, let's continue.
The basic folklore behind Bigfoot, or the Sasquatch, is well known to many people. And a bipedal ape creature that evades detection would likely be contained by the Foundation regardless. But SCP-1000 takes things in a very unique direction. SCP-1000 is a Keter-class skip, meaning it is quite difficult to reliably contain, and the containment procedures mention constant surveillance on any individuals or organizations that are looking into SCP-1000. More effort is made on the Foundation's part to conceal any information about SCP-1000 than to actually contain the entities themselves. The procedures also mention that no contact with any instance of SCP-1000 is to be done without approval by the project director, and in fact, any interaction whatsoever between SCP-1000 and humans is to be immediately reported to the director.
Alright, so there's obviously some big twist coming. Some big, some big thing we don't see coming that deviates from what people think Bigfoot is to what this Bigfoot is. Because obviously, a giant monkey, I don't know how dangerous that would be to just contain, because we contain all kinds of animals in zoos. So, this has obviously got some kind of weird supernatural power. So yeah, let's continue.
The description, of course, describes the physical appearance of SCP-1000 as you would expect, and also states their intelligence to be equivalent to a common chimpanzee. Apparently, SCP-1000 evolved alongside humans until roughly 10 to 15,000 years ago, when they contracted an anomalous disease that quickly wiped out 95 to 99% of their population. The disease is passed on genetically, but most instances of SCP-1000 that are born in present day are immune to its effects. The disease affects any hominid, notably humans, that views an instance of SCP-1000, directly or indirectly. There is a chance, that varies and increases based on a couple of factors, for the viewer to instantly die due to the permanent stopping of brain functions. This effect rapidly wiped out the population of SCP-1000, and the Foundation believes it possible for the disease to transfer to human carriers, which would lead to an apocalyptic scenario.
Hold on, so if you look at this, you get the disease, and you just die. What kind of Bird Box fucking shit is this? Has anyone seen Bird Box? It's alright, you know, I watched it quite a while after the hype. It was alright, some things don't make sense, but we're not going to talk about that and break it down today. So, these Bigfoots, if you see one, you just die? Or your brain function stops? That's fucked up. Now I know why they're so dangerous. And now they're immune to it, because they contracted disease. Most of the ones who have survived are now immune. Okay.
The description continues to state that the highest populations of SCP-1000 are currently located in the Pacific Northwest of North America
Unlucky boys.
and the Himalayas. But there are
Unlucky
instances
boys.
located on every continent.
Uh-oh.
Of course, those with level 3 clearance or higher are given a letter from the director, which reveals that almost everything I just told you is a lie. Most importantly, there is no brain-killing disease, and SCP-1000 are actually as smart as humans are. That second statement is why the report is filled with lies, why there's such a big cover-up, and why SCP-1000 is labeled as Keter.
Now it makes sense. So they're just really smart as us. They're as smart as us, way bigger and stronger. And the humans just want to exterminate them. No interactions, because maybe then they could just integrate them in. Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. Is that? Do you think that's more scary though? That the Bigfoot or Bigfoots, whatever, man, the Yetis are just as smart as us. That'd be fucked up. Do they have societies, or are there just not enough of them to build cities and shit? Because wow, that would be scary. What's more scary, the disease or that? You know what I mean? Especially if they decide to turn against us and do a Planet of the Apes-esque sort of thing, because that would be very, very not fun, you know? But then again, maybe they're not smart like that until, like, maybe they just have the capacity to learn if we teach them. You know what I mean? Maybe they're smart, but, like, they're like indigenous tribes where they don't have any tech and shit like that, so they're, you know what I mean, you know.
SCP-1000 did evolve alongside us, with us operating in the daytime, earning us the title Children of the Sun, and them operating at night, with the title Children of the Night.
Okay.
We were not technological equivalents,
Ooh.
however, and SCP-1000 were massively ahead of us. While we hunted and gathered, they developed cities, locomotives, planes, cell phones, atomic bombs, and made things in ways we still don't understand.
Uh-oh.
Part of this was due to their massive population growth, and they covered the planet in numbers reaching the tens of billions. Meanwhile, there were only a few 100,000 of us, and we avoided them when we could. They also made efforts to avoid us, speaking of us in mythological terms, telling their children we would come and eat them if they were bad. Then
it sounds like the reverse of what is today, like the weird, really advanced fucking things with billions of population, and we would tell our children the stories of how they would come and eat them. So it's like flipped. So what happened?
Something happened. Exactly what and why are unclear at this point, but humanity banded together and wiped out SCP-1000 and their civilization.
How?
Most notably, 70% of their population in a single day. The Day of Flowers.
What?
As for how, the only hint is that a trickster forest god gave us advanced weaponry and showed us how to use them. But make of that what you will.
So what you're telling me is Loki came and gave us some kind of super destructive weapon to wipe out these billions, few 100,000, billions. I don't know what kind of atomic bomb-esque things you're dropping on these guys, but okay.
Ancestors' reasons for wiping them out are also unknown, but they went further than just killing them. They used SCP-1000's technology to drive them mad, restricting the survivors' higher brain functions and leaving them as little more than apes. We also obliterated their cities and their creations, and finally, wiped our own memories of SCP-1000 and what we had done. A few humans retained their memories of what had happened, but most of humanity went back to hunting and gathering, and time ticked on. Now, the real danger is that SCP-1000 are regaining their lost intelligence, and the increase in sightings of them is cause for great concern. Most recently, there was an attempt at communication from an instance of SCP-1000. Roughly translated, it read, "We forgive you. Given choice for now, not forever. Let us back in."
No.
It's unlikely that SCP-1000 would so easily forgive the atrocities our
No. You do not let him back in. Are you crazy? My man said, "We forgive you. For now. Wait until we build ourselves back up and we're going to shit on you so hard that, I don't know what happens. Well, I'm not sure how long these Bigfoot live for. Surely this would be many generations down the line and they wouldn't know. Right? I don't know, man.
Committed. But time will tell.
Poor guys.
There are some mentions of the Children of the Night in other places, such as SCP-2932 being an ancient prison for the Anomalous created during their time. But largely their story is contained in SCP-1000. It's unknown at this point if SCP-1000 will continue to make their presence more known, or if the Foundation will suppress them. But if they are as vindictive as humanity tends to be, we might have cause for concern.
I agree. I don't know if you guys can hear all the planes / helicopters that fly over my house, bro. Insane. Alright, you guys know, you guys read this quote. I just want to touch on his last point now. He said humans, if they're as vindictive as humans, we should be worried. Couldn't agree more. Humans know how to hold a fucking grudge, bro. They will hold a grudge. They will. Sometimes pointlessly. But, you give them enough cause for, you give a human enough strife, I guess is the word. You piss them off enough, they're gonna fuck you over eventually. So yeah, I mean, this just makes humans seem like very, very jealous, crazy species, doesn't it? Also, whatever that weird low-key forest god was, probably another anomaly that was like, go wipe them out. I don't like them. Go do it. So maybe they didn't do it of their own accord. I like how it's kind of flipped from the stories flip, like today, like how we would see Bigfoot as the weird anomalies that would eat our kids, so they saw us as that. That's kind of funny. Creative. Nice way to put a spin on it. It's funny how everyone lies about them too, but obviously they don't want the danger of them to end up rising up and taking their revenge. Although, I don't know how these generations would even know about it. But yeah, that's the end of this video, man. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all next time.